Well, Rasmus Højlund undergoing his medical at Manchester United, confirmed by reliable sources that have been so much close to this deal of Man United getting Rasmus Hojlund from Atalanta. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rasmus Hojlund is the talk about town, and if at all you know what you're talking about, this is the lad that United just gotten to agree a deal in principle with, especially with Atalanta and his personal terms as far as they are concerned. 5-year deal agreed in between Rasmus Højlund and Man United, and the deal is worth £72 million and obviously £60 million guaranteed fees plus £8 million plus £12 million of add-ons, whereby 8 are really hard add-ons and 4 are really easy ones to achieve by the player. So we are talking more about the exits again. Harry Maguire, West Ham having made their first £20 million bid and it was rejected. They are planning for a second bid for the ex-Man United skipper, that is Harry Maguire. Brandon Williams having a shocking interest from a championship side that I'm going to let you know about, meaning that United are really now working on outgoings to it that they get in money to finance the next transfer that Erik ten Hag wants in as soon as possible. Let's see close to 300 likes much in this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see it that we hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of the month of August. We thank God for the gift of life. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikum. And how do you subscribe to this channel? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto our YouTube channel. Now, who first broke the story of Rasmus Højlund touching down Manchester? It was UTD Plug. It's one of the biggest United Twitter accounts, and they have close to 800,000 followers on Twitter. They first told us that Rasmus Højlund has gone ahead to land in Manchester. And remember, Fabrizio Romano and David Austin confirmed us that if it was not yesterday, Rasmus Højlund was supposed to arrive in Manchester today to undergo his medical. That is UTD Plug. After UTD Plug, guess who next went in to really reveal to us? Alfredo Pedula. He's one of the credible journalists I've seen as far as the Italian transfers are concerned, and he works for TV dello Sporto. He went ahead and told us that Højlund is now in Manchester. That is it, coming in from Alfredo Pedula, a man that was so close to this deal that he even touched it. I'm not going to say that he was almost nearing touching. He touched it. That is Alfredo Pedula. After Alfredo Pedula, we got in a Fabrizio Romano story, and this is what Fabrizio told us, that Rasmus Højlund will undergo first part of his medical test later today. He's already in Manchester. That is Fabrizio Romano. All of that corresponding with what we obviously got into the first place. Now, how did he arrive in Manchester? We got a glimpse of all these photos, and I want to give courtesy to what we call the Daily Mail for obviously revealing to us how Rasmus Højlund really arrived at Manchester Airport before he headed to Carrington. How he arrived at the airport and then him heading to Carrington to undergo the first part of his medical. That is Rasmus Højlund, and there he is. That is Rasmus Højlund. You see him? Obviously, he was seated at the back left seat. You know, he landed at the Manchester United airport and after that he headed to the Carrington grounds to undergo his medical. So he was being driven, you know this black van of Manchester United that obviously picks players and obviously brings them at Carrington to undergo their medical. Now I think you can get a clear view of him. That is Rasmus Højlund and the United entourage plus his agents and so on and so forth, driving him to Carrington to undergo his medical. So that was way back in the afternoon, that is UK time, and obviously those confirmations were really true. Then after that, Demesh of Sky Sports came in through and really told us the following: that Rasmus Hojlund has arrived in UK and has started his medical with Manchester United ahead of his £72 million move from Atalanta. So, no sooner he was picked from the airport, he was driven directly to Carrington to see to it that he undergoes his medical at Carrington, because Erik ten Hag wants this deal done as soon as possible, because if all goes well, he wants him to be part of the team that's going to play against Reims at Old Trafford on Saturday, or a team that's going to play against Atletico Bilbao on Sunday in Dublin. Now, Fabrizio Romano obviously concluded this, all capped this, by telling us that Rasmus Højlund arriving at Carrington a few minutes ago and medical tests are now ongoing. Manchester United plan confirmed, deal done. So the fact behind all this story was all about him touching down Manchester, boarding from the Manchester United airport to Carrington, medical prepared, and is now undergoing his medical. So the fact is Rasmus Højlund is undergoing his medical, and all I know, all the three parts of the medicals are going to be conducted today. I know he's going to pass it. After passing it, papers are going to be submitted in. Rasmus Højlund will put pen to his contract, will put pen to paper on his contract. After that, they will send the contracts to Atalanta. Atalanta will sign the contracts, and then those contracts will be submitted to the Premier League. The Premier League will approve the signing, and then Rasmus Højlund will be unveiled as a Manchester United player. I think by either tomorrow or Thursday, we'll be having Rasmus Højlund. The shirt numbers are variable for him. I don't know which one is going to put on, but all I can let you know is that Rasmus Højlund is a Red Devil, and soon he's going to be really unveiled by Manchester United. So after his medical, we'll be letting you know how it has gone, whether it has been successful or not. You know me and how I go on to do this. Now, we got to the Harry Maguire. 3-4 days back, West Ham submitted their first bid for Harry Maguire. It was official, it was not verbal, it was written, submitted in, but United said no to the bid. That is it. The bid was worth £20 million, and today from the Footy Insider, we have a very huge story coming in from that side, confirming to us that West Ham are considering a second offer for Man United centre-back Harry Maguire, after seeing their first bid of around £20 million rejected. That is it, coming in from Footy Insider. So, to my own understanding, I've seen people suffer. That is it. I've seen them suffer, especially at Manchester United, like Harry Maguire. But the suffering of Harry Maguire in the first place was not caused by him. It was caused by Manchester United going ahead to buy him £80 million. And it shows you how the scouting network of United was poor by then, because the fact is, if you look at central defenders who are in the area of £80 million, £60 million, £50 million, Harry Maguire is nowhere close to them. When you look at Virgil van Dijk, he costed £75 million from Southampton to Liverpool. And you know what he's going to hate to do and what qualities he obviously puts onto the football play ever since he was signed by Liverpool. He has won them a Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Champions League, and they've gone ahead to play in multiple Champions League finales. Now, look at Ruben Dias. I think he came in for £50 million or 60 million euros. That is Ruben Neves. When you look at what he puts up on the field of play, guys, Ruben Neves is unreal. He is one of the best centre-backs in the world. If you look at Vadio, who plays for RB Leipzig, who is being valued at £86 million, just £6 million more than to Harry Maguire, he's putting in a lot. Look at Konate. I think he came in for like £30-40 million. But Konate is better than Harry Maguire, and on any day, I'll take Konate ahead of Harry Maguire. You know? Look at, I want to go to defenders that have gone ahead to cost a lot of money. Even if I go for Ben White at Arsenal, I think he has gone ahead to perform or outperform Harry Maguire. So Harry Maguire's problem was he was signed at that huge amount of money at that side of Manchester United, and things are not going his way. I think he's really having huge problems, and I don't know how he's going to resolve them, but all I want to know is that him out of this club of Manchester United. But £20 million is really one of the baddest bids that you'll ever see a team make for Harry Maguire, because first and foremost is English, and for any player who holds a British passport, you need to pay what we call the English tax. We just evidenced it as Manchester United going in for Mason Mount, 24 years of age, and we coughed £60 million. But look at Sofian Amrabat. He's also left with 1 year on his contract. He's 100 times better than Mason Mount, but if it goes to the worst, we can obviously pay £30 million. So it shows you how English players are really overpriced, and that's what United is up to, and they just want half of the amount of money they really bought Harry Maguire for from Leicester City. And I think the next bid could be around £30 million, and I don't see United accepting that £30 million. They'll go for £40 million, because all they know is that he's needed by West Ham. David Moyes is wanting the player, but obviously West Ham have other options, and they would love to utilize the Yaka money they got from the sale of Declan Rice, £105 million, well, from Arsenal. And if at all they can spend like 40 on Scott McTominay, all 30, and 40 for Harry Maguire, if at all they can get in 2 players, I think that would be great for the club of West Ham. But they are really putting all their eyes on Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. They want these 2 players at their side. So if at all we can sell those players and we can gather in close to £70 million, then why don't we let them go? And the issue of the wages is also one of those things that is really bothering West Ham. Harry Maguire earns £200,000 a week. That is it, But if at all you are taking Harry Maguire to your club and you want him to be your leader, then you need to pay the price, and the price is £40 million and £200,000 per week. If you're going to give it to Declan Rice, why don't you give it to Harry Maguire? And to my own understanding, Harry Maguire is a perfect fit for that side of West Ham, because they play a low block, and Harry Maguire looked well, most especially the games that he played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he used to play a low block and we are a counter-attacking team. In such a system, his pace is not a problem, because he will always play next to his goal. But in this high-line system that has been introduced by Erik ten Hag, where you play when you're far away from your goal area, that space can be really manipulated by your opponent, and Harry Maguire is not as fast as other central defenders like Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez, and so on and so forth. So that is it concerning Harry Maguire, and let's go to another story that has just been dropped today by Miguel Delaney, who is a chief football writer at The Independent. He has told us that Leeds United are considering a move to sign Manchester United's Brandon Williams on a permanent transfer. That is Miguel Delaney. Brandon Williams is one of the young stars that really broke through the academy, and it was under who? It was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He came in through and played as a left back, but him playing as a left back never denied him to be played as a right back. He can play as a left back and a right back. He's 22 years of age, and obviously he's one of those players that went ahead to play very many games for Manchester United, especially in his breakout season. That was 2019-2020. He played 17 games in the Premier League and scored 1 goal. That is Brandon Williams for you. And he played 8 games in the UEFA Europa League. He played 5 games in the EFL Cup. That he is the lad. That is Brandon Williams. And the next season, his game time was reduced because Luke Shaw returned and was not injured. And also, we brought in Alex Telles to do the needful for the club. So, as it stands, if at all we can get some good money out of him, even if they're offering us £5 million for him, I would obviously sanction that move and be happy to get in that amount of money, provided we include what we call a resell clause, such that if at all he's sold, we get in a certain percentage, like 10%, like you saw it on Chongi. We got in like 1.5 when it was sold from Birmingham to Luton Town, or also put in what we call a buyback clause. So to me, I think that's what we should do. And Brandon Williams, having put it up a very good display when we were in the preseason, I think very many teams are really interested in him, and I think he can even get time. If he can even get teams in the Premier League, though it would be tight because last season he never really played very well, but the preseason, to me, he looked great. Though for that game against Borussia Dortmund, that first goal, he's the one to blame, that he slipped off way easily and let Adeyemi approach our 18 years box area, that resulted into that back heel of Sabitzer that found Melanie, and he hit that ball into the back of the net. So guys, your thoughts on Højlund undergoing his medical at Manchester United are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about West Ham planning another improved Harry Maguire bid to see to it that they convince United to sell him? And lastly, Brandon Williams to Leeds. How much money do you think you would be okay with for him to go to West Ham? Sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rock and David remains my name. See you later. Ciao, ciao.